What's up, my fellow sim racers? So, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what's been going on lately, because I find myself in an interesting position with sim racing and stuff. Obviously, I still got my Fanatec DD Pro. I love that thing. I think it's freaking awesome. But lately, I've been addicted, and I'm not joking. Like, I've literally been addicted to playing. To using the Thrustmaster T248 basically for everything. Now today, well, every weekend. So basically, Thrustmaster sent this out to me to review for you guys. I already did my review like a long time ago, like almost a month ago now, and I'm still using this thing pretty much every weekend. Now, yesterday I did a bunch of racing videos. You guys saw those, a lot of racing videos yesterday. I've even done a couple today. I've been sitting here kind of off and on. I wanted to actually sit here and do like some other gaming, but I get like these, I go through these phases where I just want to do like racing content, or I just want to do some racing stuff, and so like I wanted to kind of, you know, come back after like a month of basically using the Thrustmaster T248, maybe a little bit longer, basically using this Thrustmaster T248 as my main setup. And I've actually been rocking this exclusively on the Next Level Racing 2.0 wheel stand. Now this thing is freaking pretty awesome. You can just roll your chair up, you can stick it in there. I am an affiliate with Next Level Racing. I do cover their products and I do stand by them. So there'll be a link in the description for this if any of this stuff that I'm about to talk to you about today, you know, tickles your fancy or something. I like the setup for the Thrustmaster. You see how I've just kind of like set back here. It's got the, you know, the wheel stand or whatever, and then just kind of have that sitting over there. Right now, I was just doing a bunch of racing, and I just moved it out of the way. I just uploaded you guys a Forza Motorsport video running on that thing, because I don't think I'd done one like a full-on like actual video for that. I've been going through and testing a lot of games. I was actually on Automobilista 2 yesterday. I was playing that. I've been doing a lot of EA Sports WRC, but you know, I've got everything hooked up to my PC. It's easy to just slide it over that wheel stand. I freaking love that thing. You can actually fold it up too. You can fold it up and like stick it in a closet, so it's not, I leave it put together so I can just slide it out of the way. But this thing is pretty dang cool. Now I want to talk more about this Thrustmaster T248 as kind of like an update review for somebody that's actually been using it now and putting it through the paces, and you know, using it as like somebody, like say you went out and bought it and you hooked it up and you're wanting to play it. And that's the way I've been using it. I've been using it for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. I've been using it with EA Sports WRC. I've been using it for my Kiloton KT Racing WRC games. Obviously, Assetto Corsa Competizione, some Automobilista 2, Forza Motorsport today. I was playing around with that. So I've been putting it basically through its paces on some of these, you know, some of these games are actually tuned very well for your like direct drive wheelbase. Whereas like the Thrustmaster T248, this thing is crazy. It's like a hybrid. Obviously, I've tested it on, you know, Car Street X2. It's kind of, in my opinion, this is the thing that kind of separates it from like your older Thrustmaster products, or you know, like something like your Logitechs or something like that, is the belt and gear in this thing. Now, I remember with my TX, I would kind of have this like top wobble that just never felt like, it was always like, you know, it would turn one way and it would just always feel like there was like this dead zone. Like I didn't feel like I ever had like a 1-to-1 steering ratio on that thing. And it was crazy. Like I was able to race on track racing just fine, had enough force feedback, all of that stuff. Like it felt great. You could feel like the bumps and the curbs and all of that stuff in the game. But when I was doing my rally racing, the rally just always kind of felt off to me on the Thrustmaster TX, and I did have a fairly decent sized wheel for that I'd actually bought. I'd bought like another wheel for that, so I was using that. But with the Thrustmaster T248, I feel like this wheelbase and what Thrustmaster was able to create, you know, by combining the belt and the gear for this specific product. I believe the Thrustmaster TGT2 is also using the same overall belt gear, you know, combination or whatever that they're using. Like, this thing is pretty dang cool. Now, I was like, I'm not even gonna lie, I was kind of skeptical about how this thing was actually gonna work and how it was gonna perform. I thought, yeah, I'll do my review, I'll play with it for a little while, I'll do a couple videos, and I'll throw it on the shelf and just let it sit there, pull it out every once in a while, maybe do like a comparison video against some other wheelbase, you know, that somebody sends me. And I find myself still utilizing this thing, and like I said earlier, kind of addicted to using it. Now, I was playing Dakar Desert Rally on it the other day too, and all of these games, you know, here's the thing, like all of these games, Dirt Rally 2.0, all of these games that I used to play on the Thrustmaster TX, I feel significantly better on the T248. Now, there's inside this wheel, you can actually set like different settings, and I was playing around with this yesterday on Assetto Corsa Competizione. There's four, I believe it's four. I think there's four settings. There's like a 1, E1, E2, E3, and E4 or whatever. And these settings are automatically set up for certain games. You know, like if you're playing Assetto Corsa, there's 4 different presets for it. If you're playing like EA Sports, there's different presets for it. Like, all of these things are auto-programmed and auto-tuned for this game to give you like a little bit different feeling out of each one of these. And I was like, dang, this is freaking cool. I ended up with E4 for Assetto Corsa on just by, you know, being able to get in there and set it. And you can set these in real time right from the wheel on the fly, and it's like, wow, that's cool. Plus, you also have the ability to get into the other menu. You can set your rotation, you can adjust your force feedback. There's 3 settings for force feedback. You can set it at 1, 2, and 3. 1 is going to be just like your basic settings or whatever, but then like 2 and 3 are going to take that to the next level, whereas 2 and 3 you're going to have more adjustment over your overall force feedback settings and stuff, and you could kind of like max that out and really get like more force feedback out of this wheel than I had ever imagined. But back to like those settings and stuff, I was looking for it. You know, some of them will give you more of like a raw feel. Some of them are going to give you more of like that, you know, like when you're hitting like the curb strips and stuff like that, you'll feel like the rumble in there. And it's kind of weird. Like, some of them will mute that or take it out, but some of them they're actually still there. This wheel setup is pretty dang cool for the freaking price that you're paying for this. It's awesome. Like, the overall wheel and the aesthetic and the feel of the wheel itself feels pretty dang good. Like, obviously you can tell that there's a belt and a gear in there. Like, you can tell that when you're driving, you're always going to feel, especially when you're on like a tarmac surface or something, you're always going to feel like kind of like it's not necessarily a grainy feeling. There's just, you can feel the resistance. Like, you can feel a little bit of resistance, not like a lot of resistance, but enough to like let you know, like to kind of like let you feel, gives you enough feeling to where you're like, oh, okay, like this feels pretty dang good. Or like when you're on like Forza Motorsport and you're going down like a fast straightaway, and you can just like kind of feel like the rotation and the rumble and stuff. Like, you can feel that stuff in there, and that's pretty cool. I do actually like that. I actually kind of prefer that feeling over, and I've said this a couple times, I actually kind of prefer that feeling over when you're using a direct drive wheel. When there's no feeling or nothing programmed, it's just smooth. It just feels smooth, and you can move it whatever way you want. Where this here actually gives you that little bit of a grainy feeling to where you can like actually feel what's going on. Now, there's some settings in like Assetto Corsa Competizione, at least for the Fanatec. Well, when I was on the Fanatec, where you're sitting there and you can kind of just turn the wheels and it kind of gives you like a vibrating feedback. Well, the trusty thrusty does that too. Or when you're playing like a EA Sports WRC and you're revving up the car and you're getting like the rumble in there, it's like you could feel that in both the Thrustmaster and the Fanatec. Like, it is pretty cool, man. I love the extra added bonus and the more fine detailed that the companies go out of their way to actually program into these wheelbases to actually give you a better feeling, a better approximation of how things work while you're out there on the track and while you're out there doing like your rally and stuff like that. The one game I haven't tried on this yet is like is an F1 game, but I'm probably going to download one and give that a shot too and see how that kind of works out. But the overall experience that I feel like I'm getting from the Thrustmaster T248 after a month is like, wow, this thing is pretty cool, really versatile. A lot of freaking customizability with this wheel setup over something like your TX. When you're on the PC, it even opens this thing up even more. You've got more of a, you can get in there, you can upgrade the firmware, you can get in there and set like the parameters and all of that stuff just from the app and things like that. Very, very easy, not like overwhelming amount of stuff, but enough to like kind of get you used to how sim racing should feel, and that's pretty good. I do kind of recommend something like a Thrustmaster T248 for somebody that's starting out and you just want, that like plug and play experience, because this offers that in spades. Like, it is incredible. Rarely ever do I have to get in there and do any other kind of setting up after that. For a game like Taxi Life, I was playing Taxi Life with this the other day. I put a couple videos out on that because this game is awesome. Taxi Life, when you're sitting in there and you're like driving, it's already got, like, right when you load into the game, everything's already mapped. All the buttons are already mapped for you, and you're like, what the freak? Like, you push a button and a blinker comes on, you push the other button, the other blinker comes on. Very freaking cool, man. I love the way that they do that. And that's just, these are like the features and the bonuses on top of already having a very good feeling wheel that developers go ahead and program into, like your Logitech or your Thrustmaster or your Fanatec. They automatically program this stuff in, so you don't have to worry about that or setting this up as a generic wheel. And 99% of games that come out are going to recognize these right off the freaking bat and give you a solid experience. So I'm pretty pumped about this Thrustmaster T248, man. I've been using it. I'll probably keep using it, probably throughout the next weekend and stuff. As long as, it's doing what I need to do. Obviously, we got a new season for EA Sports WRC coming out. I think it's later next week or on the 8th or the 7th. So probably like next Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll be able to start, playing around with the new season for EA Sports WRC. So that's going to be pretty awesome. We're getting Rally Poland. We're getting Rally Latvia. This is going to be insane. But, man, sadly, Assetto Corsa Evo has been pushed to 2025. That sucks, but okay. I've got Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. We got some EA Sports WRC new season coming out. We got some stuff. We got some stuff to play. So yeah, even Drive Rally, Day 1 support, Thrustmaster, T248. Oh, incredible, man. I love this wheel. I think it's incredible. There will be a link in the description for this if you want to pick this up. Also a link in there. I'm an affiliate with Next Level Racing. I really do stand by their stuff. I think they're freaking awesome. I've put together 4 of their builds now, and every single one of them absolutely incredible, my friends. And I bought the ERS3 seat for my FGT cockpit, upgraded that. Freaking perfect, man. It's incredible. So, all right, my friends, I'll see you guys in the next one, and have a good night. We'll see you later.